It's family day at Up and Adams. We are soft launching our brand new studio, and it came with a baby. It also came with an amazing 6-year-old named Maya, who's got a hot take list. What do you want to say, Natalia? Where are your eyes? Where are your eyes? Where's your nose? Very good. She's a genius. Listen, we have a great show for you today. We have former NFL defensive lineman turned WWE superstar AJ Francis. He's got Wrestlemania on Sunday, plus CBS college basketball insider Maya, Cha-Cha, Maya, Mama, Dada, and we've got Jon Rothstein on the show breaking down the Final Four. Hammer time is here. Hamilton is going to take a look at the new Bears. Do you like the Bears, Maya?
Yes.
You do? More than the Chiefs? No. Okay, well, we got him breaking down DJ Moore. Up and Adams Family Edition starts now. Goo Goo Gaga. This is it. See a family? There's Amanda, the stage manager. Are you guys kidding me? Look at this studio. Round of applause, everybody. Let's hear it. This is insane. We got a shrine to Joe Burrow here. I've got my Anderson .Paak album here. Aaron Rodgers knocked on his back, leaving the NFC North. Lamar Jackson behind me. This is so exciting. I just got in here, so I don't quite know the intricacies of the studio, but Lisa, our amazing director, can we take another wide shot? This is insane. We have an all-new monitor. They completely gutted the studio. This desk is so major, I don't even know what to do with myself right now, but we are going to have a lot of fun. And there's, a lot of NFL stories going around. Yes, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson on repeat right now, but all eyes of the NFL world are on the Ravens and company. Listen, we over this week have heard from a lot of GMs and even owners at the annual league meeting out in Arizona, where they go and they, talk about their billionaires and their yachts and all of that, but they also sort of discuss these major topics. And the second we were hearing and seeing these tweets from Lamar, everybody was rushing to everyone asking, why him? What's going on? Why don't you want him as a team? And we were hearing from lots of people about why they decided not to pursue Lamar. And there was a wide range of answers, but I do think Falcons owner Arthur Blank, who has one of the best answers in the game, gave us one of the most earnest answers. Here's what he said. Looking at it objectively, I'd say there's some concern over how long can he play his style of game. Hopefully a long time, but he's missed 5-6 games each of the last 2 years. Each game counts a lot in our business. So this is different. It's, you can have your opinions on it and, injury concerns and all of that. It's just interesting to hear somebody say it finally, right? Because I think Lamar would make the Falcons a significantly better team. I don't think anybody out there can argue me on that. And it's probably a mistake not to pursue him. But the reasoning is something a lot of teams probably are feeling but don't necessarily want to say. And there is some validity to it if you just look at the numbers and objectivity of the situation. His ability to stay on the field with the way the Ravens use him was something I remember I brought up back on the Good Morning Football set, his rookie year back in 2018. But I think what's being missed in all of this, and why I wanted to start my show with Lamar, is just to give everybody a little something to chew on our Up and Adams Friday, which is a real Thursday, but we start Summer Fridays early around here. It's a predicament based on the assumption that Lamar has to play in an offense built around his legs in order to have any success in the National Football game. And I do think that assumption is off base because we've only seen him in this Greg Roman-style offense. So we truly don't know, honestly. But anybody who's followed Lamar closely and as closely as I have, covering this thing day in, day out, knows that he has developed significantly as a passer. You can find quotes of me saying it. You can find video of me saying it year in, year out. You don't want to eliminate his legs entirely, but I'm just going to put this out there as a what if. What if there's another level to his game in an offense that, I don't know, lets him open up things as a passer more? Or, I don't know, you can put more talent around him at receiver. I feel like we collectively don't allow ourselves to open that gate in our brains that say, well, maybe he could be better in a different offense. Maybe he doesn't have to rely on his legs the whole time. And maybe, I don't know, he's still only 26 years old. I can't stress that enough. And let's be honest, the Ravens were paying Lamar relative peanuts for 5 years and didn't do a great job of using that financial advantage to build up the roster and support him. It's just true. Lamar had 3 All-Pro top-tier O-lineman during his MVP season in 2019, a multiple-time Pro Bowl running back, and Mark Ingram, friend of the show. He had Hollywood Brown, he got to have the speedster, even the guy like Hayden Hurst playing alongside Mark Andrews. Now, granted, injuries, and there's been a lot of bad luck in Baltimore with that, but you cannot tell me that this roster hasn't taken big steps back as the team has said see ya to guys like Hollywood and Orlando Brown. They let stars like Matthew Judon walk. They had missteps in the draft process, and they sort of failed to make a big splash in free agency. I love the Ravens. I support the Ravens. Baltimore is literally one of my favorite places in the NFL to take in a game. But it's fair to say there's been a bit of a lack of investment, especially in the receiver spot, and it's a head-scratcher. Now, again, the bad luck factor, you had the Rashad Bateman stuff, you had the J.K. Dobbins stuff, Ronnie Stanley, all had multiple seasons worth of injuries, and that can't be ignored. But it's not hard to see why Lamar is a little bit frustrated with the way things have gone and with the narrative that's being spun and with the lack of response from the organization and sort of protecting what might be going on in-house. So he's been the glue that has held the whole thing together and has kept the team competitive. His teammates are out there saying that speaks volumes. If you have teammates coming out there and saying, we love you, but go get paid, we love you, figure your thing out, those are people who are championing him because they know a lot more about what's going on than we do. So whether it's Baltimore under Todd Monken or whether it's somewhere else, give him his check, give him a chance at a supporting cast that he deserves, and let him show off his arm a little bit. I think it'll be worth the investment, but I do appreciate Arthur Blank there sharing some candid words, and it seems to be something people don't want to say because nobody ever wants to hearken to an injury or predict that or anything, but it's something that these GMs and everyone certainly discusses. All right, we are in our new studio. It is time to bring on our first very special guest. By the way, we got somebody who's competing in Wrestlemania this weekend. We have the NCAA insider of all insiders that knows everything about the tournament, but we also have an official Disneyland expert who has hot takes and likes to throw a haymaker at me once in a while. Maya, you want to come on? All right, here's Maya. Okay, so here's what we did this week. She came from Chicago. We went to Disneyland. She told you guys her favorite Disney princesses. She did not mention Ariel, but here she comes. We get a chair for her? Sure. All right, we're going to get a chair for you, my love. Look at this outfit. Can we get a little fit check? You've got hair in. You've got this whole situation. All right, and you were here with another top 5 list, as I understand it. Yes. Is this where we want her? Do you want her over here? Yeah. Okay, we want her over there. Why don't you step down really quick? We'll put you right over there. Okay, so on a Bounty paper towel that I got on sale at Walmart, you have written your 5 favorite. What is it? What is your top 5 list for the day?
Well, it is my favorite rides on Disneyland.
Love it. Let's do it. Give me number 5 first. Can you give me number 5 first?
The Cars ride, because it went really fast, and I did not really like really fast.
So it was number 5. See, that's probably one of my favorite ones. Okay, what's number 4?
Yeah, but I wanted it on for you.
You're the best. Okay, number 4.
Number 4, Mickey and Minnie Railway.
Yes, there's some new Mickey ride that was super fun. I'm surprised that that's on your list, but you are wearing Mickey earrings. And I think I've spent $6,000 on buying you Mickey and Minnie stuff your entire life, so that makes sense. Number 3.
Incredible coaster, because it went really fast and went upside down. It was my first time, and I thought I could make it 3rd.
Okay, so the Incredicoaster, she was like a millimeter away from not being able to go on this ride, and she's never been on a roller coaster in her life, and I believe, and I don't know if the control room can tell me, like the scariest ride at Disneyland, right? You go upside down on this thing. It's unbelievable. I was losing my mind on it. It was completely terrifying, and I thought when I got out of it that she's either gonna be passed out or crying or like the happiest kid alive, and she was the happiest kid alive, so you did it. All right, number 2.
Number 2.
Second best ride at Disneyland.
Wendy and Peter Pan ride.
Classic.
Yep.
It's the first one we went on.
Yep.
What did you like about it?
Well, so me and
Cha-Cha
went on this ride, and it made you feel like you're actually flying.
Yeah, I'm Cha-Cha. Yes. Cha-Cha means aunt in Polish for everyone out there, yeah? They're like, wait, what? Okay. And so we loved Peter Pan. We saw Tinkerbell, the whole bit. Number 1.
Thunder Mountain Railroad.
So this is the first roller coaster you ever went on. It was so fun that we were all the way in California Adventure Park, and at the end of the day, we had to walk all the way back into Disney in the middle of a parade at Disney to go back on that ride one last time before we went home. That's a pretty good list. I'm just gonna ask you, Pirates of the Caribbean, not on your list.
Yes, why? Is because on my list, it says pirate boring.
Why was it boring? You didn't like it. I think everyone loves that ride. You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan because it went splashing in my hair.
Yeah, we did not do It's a Small World. That was a very controversial decision.
It was too slow, and my sister went to sleep.
Yes, yes. Did we take a 1-year-old on Pirates of the Caribbean and into the Haunted House Mansion? Yes, we did. Absolutely. Maya, that's a great list. Great job. Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate you. We're going to take a short break. Do you want to say we'll be right back?
I'll be right back.
We'll be right back on Up and Adams. We got AJ Francis on the show. We've got Jon Rothstein with your final 4 predictions. It's all happening in our brand new studio. Ooh la la. That looks like so much fun. Our very first guest is our first guest in the new studio is a former NFL defensive tackle who played for the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Giants, and Washington. He's an accomplished rapper. Maybe we'll get some bars here today on a Thursday morning. And now a WWE certified superstar, AJ Francis, a.k.a. Top Dolla. I haven't seen you in years.
I know, it's been great to be back with you again. I mean, we used to do this in New York, and now we're out in L.A. I didn't expect L.A. to be the cold and rainy city. You know? That was crazy, but I need that highlight package because I was looking good.
We will bring it for you. We have it for you. We have SmackDown tomorrow. Are you excited?
Very much so. Like a year ago, watching WrestleMania from home, not being a part of the festivities after everything I wanted to do while I was in WWE. Being back now, being able to be a part of WrestleMania weekend in LA, it's incredible. I'm very, very excited.
Do you have a favorite WrestleMania moment?
Yeah.
Like ever?
Like, as a fan?
Just either.
Yeah, I would say WrestleMania 18, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan in Toronto. Hulk Hogan was the reason that I first started wrestling when I was like 1 year old.
Yeah.
And like The Rock is the reason that I'm sitting before you today. So like the two of them have one of the greatest matches of all time at WrestleMania 18, and that would be my favorite.
Now, last time I saw you, I mean, I'm just gonna say, you look a little different.
I do.
You look a lot different.
Yeah.
How much weight have you lost in how short of time?
In about the last 8 months, I've lost 105 pounds. I was like 370 when we re-signed to WWE, and then I'm 265 now. It took a lot of work, a lot of water, a lot of good choices with food, a lot of days and
This is
nights.
this is what's so annoying about men. You just stop drinking like diet soda and you drop 100 pounds.
See, the problem was it was a diet. It was straight sugar soda. And,
really?
And then, you know, a lot more. I'm drinking like 2-3 gallons of water a day now. Like we said earlier, it's the truth. I go to the bathroom every half hour, but if you could either go to the bathroom every half hour or you could be 370 pounds. There's choices there. And
What's motivating you?
You know, the guys at the top of the card, the guys I see in the locker room, they got great bodies, great physiques, and they work all the time on their physiques, and like I want to get to where they're at, and like I don't want to be the big chubby guy. I want to be the big shredded guy.
Can I just ask you why you don't want to be the chubby guy? Because listen, everybody's shredded now. When I look at WWE, everyone's shredded, everyone's an athlete. So why not be, you know, you're always looking for to stand out, right?
Yeah.
I would want to put on the most weight and then just sit on people.
I mean, that's
like
an option.
the old days.
Yeah, see, I mean, I could do that just like Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to me, in this new age of wrestling, the way that the guys move around and the way that they are athletically gifted is just like trying to be a different person is something that I could do and something that I did do very well, as you showed the highlight.
Yes.
But I also enjoy sleeping through the night and not coughing, you know, on my own spit while I'm sleeping, because
I
am trying to like actively make better decisions with my life, because I've been through a lot, and, you know, I have a lot of family history with different medical things, and I had to take care of
You
myself.
lost your mom when she was really young.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, we were on studio together, and when it happened, it was in New York, and I found out in between our sets, and that was
gosh.
yeah, it was. And I had went out there and, I mean, did the thing with you guys, and you know, I pushed through it to finish what I was supposed to do there. But like, that was a rough day, and that really puts it in the back of your mind. Like my mom died, she was 46, I was 28 at the time. Like, if I live her life, then my life's already halfway over. So I had wanted to start making better decisions.
It's good perspective for everybody watching. We can all use that. And you are living your dream. And I think I'm so happy that I get to sit and talk to you. And I'm wishing you, like, I will watch SmackDown tomorrow just to cheer you on. I will, absolutely, because you're someone who I talked to years ago, and you went through what you tried, you know, went team to team in the NFL. You did your thing, and you sat with me years ago now, before the pandemic, and said, what I really want is WWE. And now you're doing it and you're popping off. How did you do it?
Man, it was, you know, I'm blessed with the fact that I played in the NFL, and WWE's really big on athletes, right? So you got college athletes now that have NIL deals with WWE before they even leave college, right? So like, back then it wasn't like that for me. I knew getting to the NFL was all I had to do to make sure that I would get a tryout in WWE, because like I said, they love pro athletes. And so I get to an opportunity to go to try out, and I killed it, and then 6 months later I was signed. So like, it was only a year between the end of my football career and the beginning of my WWE career.
My man, we love it.
Trying.
Okay, you have your persona, Top Dollar. We're gonna get into all of that, and you can see it on SmackDown. I mean, WWE fans are going crazy for you, which is amazing. But you know, you played for all the teams that I mentioned, which means you had a stop in Seattle. I want to talk about that really quick. I asked you before we came on what was your favorite stop in your NFL career. You said that. Are you surprised Pete Carroll's still doing this?
No, because Pete is like a fountain of youth himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he personally gets you energized every day. Like, you would think a lot of coaches, players at least, hear their coaches and they're like, oh man, I'm not trying to hear him. He just keeps running off. But Pete actually makes you want to like do things. Like, and everything in Seattle is just competition based. Like, practice is harder than games sometimes, but like everything else is cool. Meetings are cool, lifting is cool, the city's cool. It was my first time living on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So like, and we made the playoffs. It's the only time I ever made the playoffs. So it was like, definitely my favorite time.
On that team, who would have had the best persona? I mean, Pete Carroll could have
Michael
had some...
Bennett.
Oh, gosh.
Michael Bennett,
I
for
forgot
sure.
Michael Bennett was on that team.
Michael Bennett was on there, and Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman. Like, I played with all those guys.
I know. So who would be the best WWE persona?
Ooh.
Bennett.
Yeah, it would be Mike, because he's got the size, the athleticism, the gift of gab, but, you know, Sherm also has that too.
Yeah, you got that dance, though, with Bennett.
Yeah,
Bennett can dance.
Yeah, true, also.
That's good. Okay, now let's talk quickly about you were in Washington. Were you with Kirk Cousins then?
Yes, I was.
So, his persona has taken a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
AJ, let's talk about this, because he was
You were
always
from Captain Kirk to Kirk O'Banks.
Yes, so then, you know, he was Mr. Michigan State, Sparty-on, nerd, and then this happened.
Hey, Big Drip Kirk, I see you. Hey, it's funny because like Kirk he has this personality. He always did it like.
Did he?
Yeah, he just didn't show it a lot.
No. Tell me what his personality is then.
See,
what are you talking about?
He's like the nerdy homeboy that hangs with all the brothers on the team.
No, nerdy homeboys that hang with guys on the team do not drive conversion vans and have like bumper stickers. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey man, you know, he went to Minnesota. He had to change his vibe up a little bit. When he left DC, like, I thought he was going to be in D.C. forever. I mean, D.C. still hasn't got a better quarterback than him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they just kept backing up that Brinks truck into his backyard.
And he could have kept doing that in D.C., and they decided they wanted to go a different direction, and it's worked better for Minnesota.
AJ, you're being too nice. How can Kirk Cousins work on his persona? Like, have you seen the man dance?
Wear more chains. You know what I'm saying?
We need more Kirk chains.
We need those chains.
Oh, gosh, that's absolutely terrible and terrifying. Okay, let's talk about audience here, because you know, I know what it's like to be at an NFL stadium. You know what it's like to play in front of fans. How does it compare to the crowd at a WWE situation?
So it's completely different, because fans at football games are reactionary. Like, they react to what happens on the field, right?
True.
And so, like, if good things are going for the home team, the crowd's going crazy. If bad things are going for the home team, it's pretty much silent. In WWE, fans are going to be a part of the show. They're going to be interactive.
Got it.
So if it's boring that they're watching, they're not just gonna sit on their hands. They're gonna literally chant boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they love what they're seeing, they're gonna chant, "This is awesome." They're gonna do everything, like whatever they got to do to get themselves involved, and that's cool because you can play off that as a performer. Like I say things a lot of the times, like especially we go to like DC. Like I'm from DC.
Yeah,
like,
so you got
and I played in DC, but like. The whole time I was on the mic, all I did was talk bad about the Commanders, right? Because I knew all that would do is make them hate me, which is my objective, right?
Okay, so if you had to say what your persona is in Top Dolla, give me like what your persona is for people who might not know.
Hip hop CEO, street guy that is ready to throw down at all times and it will not let you play with his name. See, because Top Dolla is a cool name, but it's the kind of name that people try to like play with and come up with other ways and I use, I don't know if you've ever seen The Wire, but I use like Marlo Stansfield in The Wire.
Okay.
And I'm always like, my name is my name. Right?
Okay, you do
See,
that.
That's my thing. So like that's how if someone calls me, you know, they call me Flop Dolla or they call me Bottom Dollar or something. I gotta make amends to that and let them know that my name is my name. That's how we do that.
So when you do you like do things that fall flat ever in front of the crowd? Like do you get to workshop it like a comedian?
I went to do a dive one time and my leg was like, "You ain't diving, big fella." And,
Really?
And I got caught on the top rope and it happens. It's live TV, but you got to keep going with it. Like I'm still recovering from, like my leg is still recovering from that. That was months ago, but it's like. You still got to just push through. I mean, it's just like in football. Like, if I played, when I was on the Dolphins, I played a whole game with a torn meniscus. You just got to do what you got to do.
Okay, they want me to, what do they want me to ask? The finishing move?
Yes.
Okay, can we see this finishing move? Top Dolla finishing move. I think we have some footage of it. Here it is.
Yeah.
What do you call this? Talk me through. AJ.
So, right here.
Oh my gosh.
This is called the world's strongest wasteland.
All right, Maya, get over here. We're going to practice this.
Because the move for the guy I'm holding in my arms is called the world's strongest slam, and the move for the guy in my shoulders is called a wasteland. So I call it the world's strongest wasteland. And why was your niece about to come get put through a table?
Maya can come here whenever she wants. Maya, want to come over here and sit with me? No, okay. I was joking. I thought maybe, would you want to try that? Yeah, I mean, you went on the biggest roller coaster in the world. This is Top Dolla. This is my friend AJ. This is
I like your jacket.
Doesn't she look cool? Want to come sit with me? Sure. All right, let's keep talking here. So you are here in Los Angeles. He's going to be in Wrestlemania wrestling, which is super fun. You are participating in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale tomorrow. Give me the lowdown. Like, what's the best storyline?
So the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is a traditional over-the-top battle royal. The only way that you can be eliminated is by being thrown over the top rope. A lot of greats have won it. You got guys like Jey Uso, who won it recently.
Look at that.
And he's one of the top guys on the card right now and one of the biggest storylines. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunities that get to be given to people when they win this, and I'm very much looking forward to winning.
Yeah. Is there camaraderie between you guys, like in an NFL locker room, or is it like you're in...
Yes and no. Yeah. Yes and no. It's just like NFL locker room where like...
Are y'all in one locker room, though, so it's like you're in there with your competition?
Yeah,
That's
so it's
weird.
But it's just like the NFL. So like I might be...
No, because Richard Sherman's not out there with Michael Crabtree in the same locker room before a game.
No, but he's in the locker room with other defensive backs who he got to earn a job over.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
So it's like I might be best friends with an offensive lineman, but when we do one-on-ones, we ain't homeboys. You know, like I gotta eat, you gotta eat. We out here working for it. And it's the same way in WWE locker room. Like we're all cool, we kick it back there, we play video games, we play cards. It's a great time. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get to that top spot. And if you gotta step on somebody to get there, that's just how it be.
That's what it is. Now if I had a WWE persona, what would it be? Or a name or a
Slay K.
Slay K. Okay, I like that. I wonder what my finishing move would be, just talking someone to death. Just trying to talk to somebody. I think that's what it would be. I mean, that's kind of it. I think, are we good? What else do we want to ask you about? What else do you want to talk about?
I'm just really excited to be here in LA.
Want to talk about music?
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, what's going on with your music? I know that's been a huge part of your career. You could basically have done anything that you wanted to. You're with wrestling right now, but you could have a music career, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's cool because, like, music has always been my lifeblood, and yet, like, I found a way to incorporate it into what I love in WWE, right? And it's cool because my crew, Hit Row, me, myself, B-Fab, Ashanti, the Adonis, the three of us, like, we are like a big family, right? So, like, we're even though we are a group in wrestling, like we don't do nothing without each other. Like for example, last night we went to Roscoe's, and then on the way home, my car got a flat tire.
Oh no!
So in the rain in Crenshaw, we was putting a donut on the back tire, you know what I'm saying? So like, but I called them, I was like, yo, I need your help, you know what I'm saying? And they was like, all right, cool, they just came
Well,
through.
it's not supposed to rain here. So
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was told that it never rains in Southern California.
The taxes are too high here. It's not for it to rain.
So
okay,
it's like,
but you dropped a new song.
Yeah, I got a new song coming out. I just debuted it last night on DJ Who Kid for Shade 45.
Okay, let's
Real.
hear it. You debuted it last night?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, let's listen.
So much bread, I got a will, and that's really real. Got a crib like Uncle Phil, and that's really real.
Whoa! Where can we hear it?
Real. When it comes out, it'll be on all platforms, but it hasn't been released yet. It's just I'm doing my press for it now, getting everybody's ears open to it so that I can drop it very soon.
Has there been a successful athlete turned rapper?
Yeah, there's a bunch. You got
who's the
you got
best
Dame
one?
Dolla
Yes.
Dame Dolla is actually a good rapper. There's a lot of athletes that have songs, but they're not good rappers.
Yeah, Conrad in my ear is saying Shaq has bars.
Oh, Shaq definitely has bars. Shaq has a song with Biggie. It's one of my favorite songs ever.
No, you can't not mention Nate Burleson because it'll just be sad. Nate's got bars.
Nate be spitting too, you know. Every time me and Nate were on set together, you know, I always had to show him who the real spitter was. But you know, that's my guy.
He's passionate. Do you have any that you want to drop some bars for us? You got a little something?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Tomorrow's the Andre. I'll do something for you.
All right.
Here we go. Last week, I got the text I was going to be in the Andre. First thing I did was hit Ashante. That's the way you start Mania in LA, after party with shorties at the Tele. The celebration will contribute to sensation and jubilation across the nation. The day my haters dreaded like a Haitian. From atop of giant shoulders, you can see what's shaking. Not John Tinter, but I see the earth quaking, an avalanche of hating, rap God forsaken. Kiss my, no hesitation. Yeah, that's cool.
Woo, AJ!
Thank you.
Check out his new music. Good luck to you in SmackDown. Say good luck, Maya.
Good luck.
Say
Appreciate you.
kick butt. We love you, AJ.
I'm about to get some gear made like that. That looks cool. That's fly.
She looks a lot cooler than I do. She's got blue hair. I got it all going on. She could be in the WWE. Back right here on the Bananas.
Got a crib like Uncle.
Time to welcome back a FanDuel family member, the co-host of the College Hoops Today podcast, and an insider for CBS Sports. He is this close to finally getting some sleep sometime in the next month or so. Jon Rothstein, everybody. How you feeling? How you holding up, John?
Never better, Kay. We sleep in May.
Yeah, we certainly do. Where in the world is Jon Rothstein right now? Are you at the Final Four? And I want to know what your favorite host city was that you ever got to visit.
Well, I am in Houston right now for the Final Four, but in terms of a favorite host city, I think proximity to everything is obviously the biggest key to having a great Final Four experience. So I firmly like Indianapolis. I think it's an easy flight from New York. I think everything is very, very tight. A lot of people like New Orleans. I am not a big fan of the food in New Orleans, truth be told. So I would say those two, though, people seem to enjoy, and also San Antonio is very cool with the Riverwalk. But, you know, Kay, as the years move along, I find myself being more focused on the task at hand than the ancillary things that go along with the Final Four, probably much like you see at the Super Bowl. Everybody's going out, they're schmoozing.
Yeah.
I want to be dialed in. I want to be focused. I want to be getting tasks done so that when I land at LaGuardia next Tuesday, I can obviously see a whole lot of sky. It's kind of like that scene in the movie with Tom Cruise, The Firm, in 1992. His brother in the movie, was in prison. And Tom Cruise says to him in a key scene in the movie, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And he says, "Yeah, just get me out of here and show me to a place where I can see a whole lot of sky." When you're in prison, you know, he goes, you can get through the days, you can even eat the food, but you really don't understand how much you miss the sky. Right now on Tuesday, I'm really looking forward to getting to a place back in the greatest city in the world where I can see a whole lot of sky.
And the movie references do not stop there. We're going to get right back to them. Listen, host cities, I got to get you excited about these. Maybe we should try to get one in Positano next year.
Positano, okay, just for the record right now, when my wife and I took a water taxi, from Praiano to Positano, I was scared to death that A, my phone was going to fall into the water, and then 2, but we were going to get attacked by a shark. I was, for all intents and purposes, I think very, very okay with a lot of my surroundings. But the amount of times that I was obviously subjected to Jaws as a kid has really scorned my ability to go into salt water. So I definitely have anxiety about that. But Positano, while it's beautiful, I don't think it has really the serene feeling of a place like Praiano. It kind of feels like, if you're going to, let's just say, Woodbury Commons, like during Thanksgiving weekend after you finish your turkey.
There we go. That was a lot of information, more than I asked for, but I appreciate it. You are a man who picks Indianapolis over Positano for the NCAA Final Four tournament. We love to see it, and we officially share a trauma bond of Jaws, which is incredible. We'll get into that at some point. But let's talk about this. What happened to Texas? You gave me the team. I was juiced for them. It's almost like every team you give me fails because I'm cursed.
Well, what happened to Texas was this. Dylan DeSue, who was Texas's best player in the NCAA tournament through the first 2 rounds, averaged 23.5 points and 10 rebounds in the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament for the Longhorns. Only played a total of 2 minutes in the Sweet 16, did not play in the Elite 8. That obviously hurt Texas's depth. But Texas still was able to dominate Xavier and hold the lead over Miami for 30 minutes before Miami's guards just took over the game. And the thing that we're starting to see right now is that Miami is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. They are forcing you to match up with them. It's not the other way around. Okay, what can I say? Miami basketball, more guards than Shawshank.
There. More guards than Shawshank. Oh, my goodness. All right, John, so Texas is done. The first thing you ever told me when I met you on this show was that this tournament is going to have more parity than the last 20 years. I thought you were being hyperbolic. You are not wrong. This is a Final Four, my friend, that no one saw coming. 9 seed, 2 5 seeds, and a 4 seed. So this is the first time ever that we'll have a Final Four without a 1, 2, or 3 seed. Is a low-seeded final like this good for the tournament?
I think for people from the periphery who want to tune in to see, obviously, the top brands associated with the sport, like we saw a year ago, Duke, Carolina, Villanova, Kansas. Those people may have trouble being pulled in casually on a Saturday for a Final Four party. But if you're a sports fan or you're a fan of college basketball, you can truly appreciate the unpredictable nature of the NCAA tournament because you are not getting this type of a final weekend in any other sport that we have on our globe.
Totally.
Okay, think about this for a second. Florida Atlantic was picked 5th in the Conference USA preseason poll, and Florida Atlantic won a combined 32 games in the 2 seasons prior to this one. The Owls have won 35 games. They'll play in a Final Four. Their opponent on Saturday, San Diego State, had not won an NCAA tournament game under Brian Dutcher prior to this season. San Diego State will play Florida Atlantic in the Final Four. And Miami, a program that went to the Elite 8 last year and is not synonymous with blue blood programs in college basketball, lost 3 starters. Charlie Moore, Cam Auguste, and Sam Wardenberg from last season's team that lost in the Elite 8 to Kansas and took it a step further and will play UConn in the Final Four on Saturday. The Huskies, obviously, the lone blue blood program in this Final Four. Kay, I'll say it again. It's not anarchy. It's just college basketball, Ken.
It's just college basketball. I'm trying to think if that's like the Bears and the Colts facing off in the next Super Bowl. It's unbelievable. This year's one shining moment, always special, going to be extra special with all of these underdogs, of course. If you had to pick right now, what is your one shining moment from all of March?
Florida Atlantic advancing to the Final Four at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, and Dusty We Sleep in May, the head coach of Florida Atlantic, having a Jay Wright type moment, hugging his best player, Janelle Davis, when the final buzzer goes off, and completely remaining stoic, calm, and always in control, much like Jay Wright was 7 years ago when Chris Jenkins made a game-winning shot at the buzzer for Villanova to win a national championship.
Wow. What is the closest you've ever come to shedding a tear during the tournament?
Fantastic question. I think in 2014, I was so firm all season long that Shabazz Napier was going to be the best guard in college basketball. And I felt all season long that he was the best guard in college basketball. And when he put Connecticut on his back and led them to wins over Iowa State and Michigan State to go to a Final Four. And that coincided with the day that Aaron Harrison made a three-point shot in the final seconds for Kentucky to beat Michigan in roughly the same spot where he made a shot on the left wing 2 nights prior to beat Louisville. I just said, I am so grateful that I get to take part in this. But like Pat Riley says, Kay, the most important thing is the next thing. So I'm a goal-oriented person. And as you know, Sylvester Stallone said in Over the Top, maybe the most underrated movie that he has, on his resume, The World Meets Nobody Halfway. So because of that, I keep going to the next thing to try and keep striving to be better on my next appearance.
And you are. You somehow knock it out the park and outdo it all of the time. Okay, I know that you love Dusty May. We're going to skip that because you've already given him your love, and I know that's the thing. So I do want to talk to you before we get into some movie comparisons and references here. You have something going on over at FanDuel, right? You have a Final Four Rothstein special moneyline parlay this weekend. What is it?
Well, I think, we're going to have UConn winning their game against Miami, and we got San Diego State winning against Florida Atlantic, setting up UConn San Diego State, which is a rematch of the 2011 Sweet 16 played in Southern California in Anaheim when Kemba Walker and the Huskies beat Kawhi Leonard and the Aztecs 12 years ago. I can't believe that tournament run is 12 years ago, but Kay, you know what we say as we get older. The days are long, but the years are short.
Who are you? You're blowing my mind right now. You are on a heater. You are like Miami right now in those guards you're talking about. Okay, no, I don't want to. They're asking me to ask you who's going to win it all. I don't want to know yet. I want to enjoy March as it is, and I don't want to talk about who's going to make it to that next step. So we did 80s movies, which we know that you are obsessed with. There's 4 teams left, so we're going to bring it back and do some movie madness with March Madness. Let's do it. I'm going to give you a team. We're going to go through all 4 teams in the Final Four, and you give me their movie comparison and why. Who's Florida Atlantic? What movie?
The Mighty Ducks with Emilio Estevez, because this is a Disney movie right now unfolding in front of our eyes. We have, I believe, what was the lead kid in that movie?
Charlie Conway.
Charlie Conway, but he was on, was it Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, Pacey, of course.
Pacey,
Joshua
there you
Jackson.
go. So this was him before fame.
John, do you know how excited I am that I just knew something that you didn't know? That was the first time there was a glitch in the Matrix. There was the first time that you didn't know. I feel so special that I watched Dawson's Creek. You got
I was
Adam
more
Banks.
for the record. I was more 90210 than Dawson's Creek.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But Adam Banks, you got Kate
Well,
Keeter,
true story.
Go ahead.
True story, and you will appreciate this because we're going to go from Dawson's Creek to 90210 at Ithaca College, where I spent 3 years. Before going on to the real world, because of, I guess the way I wear my hair, and I guess I had longer sideburns, I worked at the paper. I was, totally teased all the time that I was Brandon Walsh. So I carry a 90210 special place in my heart.
Rothstein, I wouldn't call that being teased. I'd call it the compliment of a lifetime. Team Brandon all the way. All right, let's go with San Diego State. Name the movie.
Over the Top. Because much like Sylvester Stallone's movie about arm wrestling when he was a truck driver in 1987, San Diego State is tough. It's rugged. It has to make the most out of what it has. San Diego State definitely reminds me of Stallone and Over the Top.
I'd never heard of Over the Top. I'd never seen Over the Top. I read the movie description and had a nice little laugh this morning.
You haven't seen The Godfather.
Yeah, I know.
I'm serious. Like, the next time there's a blizzard, you are so set for at least 6 hours and 50 minutes, which is the amount of time of The Godfather epic.
I'll watch The Godfather when you drink a cup of coffee. All right, how about this? Next one, let's go with UConn.
UConn is Rambo because they're ripping through the NCAA tournament like a chainsaw through butter. And I think the one thing we have to look at when it comes to UConn is UConn, much like, again, another Stallone reference, they have a singular focus, and that is to dispose of their opponents. And think about this, UConn has still not lost a non-conference game this season.
Woof. Okay, last one. We talked about it earlier. Miami. Name the movie.
Carlito's Way, one of the most forgotten movies in Al Pacino's career, but it's absolutely outstanding. Sean Penn was off the charts in this movie as Al Pacino's attorney, David Kleinfeld. Terrific cast. It's a New York movie, as you know, or I don't know if you know this, but when I was at Ithaca College, and I dreamed of being an on-air announcer and living in New York. I used to watch 80s movies based in New York, kind of on a loop to get myself always focused on the end goal. I wouldn't say Carlito's Way was in that, but it was usually Cocktail, Wall Street, and The Secret of My Success. Those three: Cocktail, Wall Street, Secret of My Success. All the time to think about the bigger task at hand.
Yeah, can you recite every line to these movies? I imagine yes.
A lot of them, but to be determined today. Today I'm focused on obviously trying to get through the final 3 games of the season. Again, what Pat Riley says, the next thing. That's the most important thing.
It's true, and we also are focused on the We Sleep in May parlay. Get over to FanDuel and get that done. We appreciate that and all the work you've done for us and for FanDuel and for NCAA fans everywhere. We appreciate you. Have fun this weekend. I'm rooting for chaos.
Remember, Kay, it's not anarchy. It's just college basketball. And as soon as you find out the answers in college basketball, somebody else is going to change the questions.
I've never heard of Carlito's Way either. What are these? Are you making up movies? Oh, my God.
Kay Adams hates fun.
North Carolina shipping wide receiver DJ Moore to Chicago, where the Bears plan to pair him with their young quarterback, Justin Fields.
Attaboy, Ryan Poles. The Bears pulled off the first blockbuster move of the offseason when they trade the #1 overall pick to Carolina in exchange for a package of draft picks and wide receiver DJ Moore. So while the picks are great, DJ, he has me so excited about what's going on in Chicago. If you know anything about me, I'm always like, DJ Moore, always 1,000 yards, 90 different quarterbacks that aren't up to snuff throwing him the ball, and he somehow is consistent and gets it done, and I love this. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and the Bears ranked dead last in the league in 2022 when it comes to production at the wide receiver position. So it seems like the perfect match on paper, but how does it look on film? Matt Hamilton, it's time for Hammer Time.
You can't touch this.
Hammy, I got a new studio.
It looks amazing, and I gotta tell you, if Maya was bored by the Pirates ride, I can't wait till she watches me break down some X's and O's. It's gonna be a real treat for her.
And we are very excited. You and I were talking about this on the phone yesterday as I was at Whole Foods running around like a psychopath. Tell everybody about that.
Just buying parsley, buying butter. I mean, I don't know who you are, but
I drove myself to Whole Foods. I parked, I went in, I bought butter and parsley. It was like a whole new me. It was crazy. Hammer, let's get serious about this. DJ Moore to Chicago. I'm excited. Should I be? I'm sure there's big playability there that you want to break down.
yeah, and as you mentioned, he's been so productive over the course of his 5 years in the league so far, with 10 different quarterbacks throwing him the ball. And he has some elite traits. And while he's averaged over 1,000 yards a season, I think he's only scratching the surface of his potential because of that inconsistency that he's had at quarterback. So let's take a look at that film now and look at some of these traits on display against one of the league's best corners in Patrick Surtain. He's going to be facing press man here. And to beat press man, you have to be physical. DJ's not the biggest guy, but he gets physical when he has to. Look at how he uses his arm to clear out some space here, create a pathway to get vertical. And what he's going to do here is work back towards the middle of the field. That may seem a little counterintuitive to work back into the defender, but what he's doing is what we call holding the numbers, creating space to the sideline to give his quarterback room to drop in the ball. And then he's going to look back, locate the ball. What that does, too, is it slows down Surtain, makes him have to turn and try to locate it, and that gives him just enough of an edge to be able to climb back on top of the corner. And you see the space that's still left because of the way he held the numbers, just enough room for the quarterback to drop that ball in. And we'll watch it again uninterrupted. All the little subtleties, all the little details give him that edge. And you look at the frustration from Surtain throwing his hands up to his head. You can't do anything better than Surtain did there, and DJ Moore still got the best of him. He put up 100 yards and a touchdown on him. The only other receiver to put up 100 yards like that on him was Davante Adams this year. And he can do it against man. He can also do it against zone. You'll see him here running a dig against the Niners, playing cover 2. He's going to sit down in that window.
Right.
He identifies coverages as well as any receiver. But what's special here is what he can do after the catch. He's in an actual literal pentagon of defenders here. And watch what he's able to do to get out of this. I've never seen a spin move like that. He basically goes to the ground, spins out of this, and he turns a moderate gain into a big play. He's an explosive play machine. Oh, yeah, against the #1 defense in the NFL. So he's just a big play machine. His ability to get vertical and make plays after the catch And this is what Justin Fields needed, not just the number one target to help him maximize his abilities, but it also as an organization for the Bears. Now you can really truly evaluate what you have at quarterback in Fields, because with the lack of talent around him, you couldn't really fully evaluate him as a passer last year either.
Nobody really stepped up. And DJ Moore, I love his game. You love his game. You and I have worked together for 7 years now, always saying like he's so unheralded and underrated. I like that for him, though. And I like that for him going to Chicago to sort of sneak attack on everybody. The big playability, if you look at it, he's been in the league for a bit. 2018, he ranks 5th among receivers in explosive plays in that time, which is really amazing. And then, yeah, there you go. Anything else? We good?
No, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it for the Bears, excited for Fields. I know Bears fans have been waiting for a receiver like this probably since Brandon Marshall. So it's going to be a fun time in Chicago this year.
Hamilton, don't undersell it. The Bears didn't have a single receiver go over 500 yards last season. Now they have Moore and Claypool and Mooney, and Fields is going to rock it out. They're going to the Super Bowl! Final Four style. We'll be back on Up and Adams. Soft launch on our new studio here in Los Angeles. Beautiful, rainy Seattle, California. All right, new studio looking good, says Paige. Paige probably loves it. We're talking about DJ Moore and that Chicago fit. And then Hey says, great job, Maya. New studio looks amazing. Definitely not like that Pirates ride. The boring Pirates ride, Matt Hamilton. As we bring Hammy into the mixer. This desk is entirely too big for me. I look like an Ant-Man. Hammy.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, shout out to Paul Rudd. It's pretty cool though, huh?
Yeah, it is. It looks beautiful, and I don't know how I feel about all that shade to the Pirates. I have good memories, at least with the one in Florida.
Have you been on the ride?
With my brother as a kid, so yeah.
Have you been on the ride?
When I was a kid, I enjoyed it, but it's been a while.
There's like
nothing special.
A couple drops, but it's in the dark, and then you're like, all right, and then it's just like skeletons, and then you just see like mock-ups of Johnny Depp, and you're just like, this is, and I think technology has come such a long way. Like there's this new Mickey ride, and you're just like, what's real and what's not? It's actually terrifying. Like it's the Jeep, whatever, the chat, the AI stuff. I was like, is this what this is? Like, am I in the Matrix? What's going on? Because you can't actually tell what's real and what's not.
Yeah, it's true. Technology does have a way of putting things like that, making things like that look terrible.
Did you watch Succession?
I did. Did you?
I did. I watched it. Listen, you parents out there, I got a lot of things to say, and that's my current obsession. Here's my current obsession: is trying to understand when do parents watch Succession? How could you possibly, Maya? Come over here. Come wave bye to everybody. How could you? My current obsession is Maya. There we go. Maya K, come over here. Because we had the best time in California. Come up here. Jump up here. Anything you want to say to everybody before you leave? Do you want to move here?
Yes.
Yay! Move to rainy California. Okay, say bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.